motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is the final and only amendment any member has been given the opportunity to offer to this bill. It will not kill the bill or send it back to committee. If adopted, H.R. 436 will immediately proceed to final passage as amended. The amendment I offer is a simple, common-sense effort to discourage American employers from outsourcing American jobs. It conditions the repeal of the device tax on an employer keeping jobs in the United States. If a device manufacturer sends jobs overseas during a calendar year, then the repeal of the tax does not apply to that manufacturer for that year. Both Democrats and Republicans want to create conditions that get American families back to work. Both Democrats and Republicans agree that the tax code should discourage employers from shipping jobs overseas, and both Democrats and Republicans want American families to prosper and have the opportunity to achieve limitless possibilities. But we have different approaches to achieving that goal. Though we have different approaches, I think all reasonable people can agree that the ultimate job destroyer is outsourcing. I listened very carefully to the debate that took place on the underlying bill. Virtually every speaker on the Republican side of the aisle mentioned jobs, mentioned employment, mentioned job-killing regulations, job-killing taxes. I think the best way to kill a job isn't a regulation and isn't a tax. The best way to kill a job and to kill American opportunity is to have that job done by someone overseas instead of by an American, simply because it's cheaper to have that job done overseas. This is an issue that weighs heavily on the minds of our constituents. A 2009 Harvard study found that half of all Americans are resentful of businesses that send jobs overseas, and over 80% have concern for their family's future due to outsourcing. No American should be fearful that their job will be shipped overseas, and this Congress should end those policies that provoke this anxiety. The tax code still gives incentives to employers who create jobs in foreign countries rather than here at home. Our Republican colleagues rail against foreign aid, but isn't providing another country a job that an American could do the ultimate example of foreign aid? I doubt we'll be able to eliminate outsourcing, but with this amendment, this Congress can adopting this amendment is our first step towards reforming our tax system in a way that benefits American businesses and American workers. Every time a U.S. business moves operations overseas, we lose opportunity, we lose economic growth, we lose competitiveness, and we lose desperately needed revenue necessary to reduce the deficit. This bill was considered under a closed rule, so Republicans can't justify their opposition with the usual claim that Democrats are trying to subvert an open amendment process. An open amendment process simply didn't exist for this bill. This time, there's no hiding. Either you support American jobs for Americans or you don't. I urge all members to support this amendment and to protect American jobs. I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back his time.